Yo, how's it going, guys? It's Pandora Fable Blossom here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. We are back. Obviously, I'm still Richard Unicorn Caller, but I did the whole name and gender change on Test Realm. Really fun feature. Honestly, one of the favorite features so far on the Test Realm. And we are going to do a full overview of everything that's been happening on the test realm, so you're aware of some of these changes, so when the update does come in, you'll know what's happening. And we're just going to do like a full rundown and my personal thoughts and opinions about each update, because I played test realm today and quite frankly I am already tired. I really wanted to do the raid, but just like the other raid, it's just very difficult to get 12 players. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Again, we just have a bunch of stuff to talk about, which first starts with the Crying Sky raid. I can't talk too much about this because I have yet to even participate in the actual thing itself, but from what I've seen in the live streams and stuff like that, it's very chaotic. It seems like a lot of people are having fun with it, and it looks really fun. I wish I had the chance to do it, but yeah, it looks fun. So let's talk a little bit about the pre-quest for it. The pre-quest, I'm not the biggest fan of. Now, obviously, not every single person has to do this pre-quest. I'm pretty sure not everybody has to do it. But it is pretty cool to see. So you go over here. You have to go all the way to Pandora, which is in Avalon. So you have to go all the way to Avalon, and you have to talk to the raid master, Gwyn Fellwarden. You would talk to her, and then she would basically send you to Azteca. So after you go to Azteca, you then have to extract this monster before you have to go in like pet mode and stuff like that, and like find this secret mob monster that is basically roaming around 3 points. It's an interesting concept to have a mob wandering, like a new mob that's wandering in Azteca. We noticed that on the test realm, since there's only 4 realms, a lot of people were kind of just waiting for this mob to spawn, and it felt like the mob was taking forever to spawn in. I think somebody said that if you go into pet mode, like if you go into pet mode, you can actually find the mob that way, and it will actually show up on the screen. So I think that's what I'm going to do on Live Realm. I think that's basically the trick to find the mob. But yeah, it was interesting experience, and I already know that it's probably gonna cost like 10 monster summon animus or whatever it is, but I will say it's a little bit of a pain. It is a little bit of a pain, especially if there are going to be a lot of people in each realm that are trying to farm this monster to try and get the animus to craft the key. And that's another thing, at least on test realm, you can only craft the key if you do this pre-quest, right? Now, in order to extract this mob, you need the Monstrology extract spell, which I believe is at a rank 12 in Monstrology. I'm not sure. I'm a rank 25, but I know a lot of people just don't know about Monstrology or like Monstrology, so that can become a little iffy for them. But you do need the Dino extract. You can talk to Monstrologist Bjorke in Aztec, and she actually has it right there for you. So you're going to have somebody in the guild that is a high level in Monstrology and that's willing to do this pre-quest, because once you're done the pre-quest, you would talk to Grim, and she would basically take you to the guild house, and she resides in your guild house, and she'll allow you to basically craft the key. Obviously, on test realm, they have it to 1 Azoth, which is lovely. I would love for that to be on live realm, but obviously it will probably be like the same standard, like 600 Azoth and like 10 animus extract or whatever it is. It's basically a huge chore in order to, craft the raid keys. It's always been like that. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how this goes out. I think the one thing I don't like about the pre-quest is that the mob spawn rates seem a little slow, and you also have to be a max level wizard. So you actually have to be a max level wizard in order to do that pre-quest. So you'll definitely need somebody in order to, get the extract. Another thing that I saw in the raids, or at least from what I've seen on the live streams, is that there's a big amount of energy that's needed because you have to cast magic touch everywhere. You're casting cantrips and auras and stuff like that. It's still in the beginning and people are still trying to figure out strategies, but at least from what I've seen, it seems like there's a huge emphasis on puzzles and stuff like that, and fishing and finding like these fish heads or something like that, and using magic touch to activate these portals and stuff like that. So this might be one of those raids where it's going to be really high on energy, right? And in the Dragonspire raid, you were kind of optional with using your energy, but this one is going to be heavy. And plus, you have to get 12 people to cast Magic Touch Cantrip on the raid gate in general. So you also have to put that in consideration that a few people might be running low on energy and not everybody is going to have, like, energy gear. Like, personally for me, I already have energy gear that has, like, I think 300 plus points in it. Right, and that's kind of one of the more reasons why I made that energy gear set, was because I cast cantrips a lot, right? Speaking of which, they also rebalance the cantrips and stuff like that. But yeah, that was one of the reasons I made that set. But now I feel like there's going to be a huge emphasis on that. So again, we'll just have to wait and see about the whole thing. Again, the raids, it seems like such fun content. I really hope I can participate in it just eventually, but it's super hard to get 12 players. And the real big kicker, and this is really where a lot of people are going to have to spend the most time in, is that they patched the whole guild hopping thing. So, previously you can get around the guild hop cooldown by, just swapping realms and stuff like that, right? You didn't have to worry about that 2-week timer. Well, now in Test Realm, they have patched that. So you can't really guild hop anymore. So we're at that same kind of like predicament where it's like, oh, we can't guild hop no more. We tried swapping realms or teleporting to your house. Nothing works. So now that recipient is going to have to wait about 2 weeks to join another guild. I don't know if it's still 2 weeks or not. I think it's like 13 days or something like that. But yeah, it's iffy. So you're going to have to really have a guild. Not only that, but a strong, consistent guild that is going to be willing to stay in the guild. Because having a bunch of guild hoppers in, you practically can't even guild hop. Because you don't want to wait 2 weeks and then the other guild has already raided without you because you're on a cooldown. So, I don't know. If you're on Live Realm, I really advise you to find a strong guild that you want to stay in, because when this guild, when this guild cooldown thing happens on the live realms, it's gonna mess up a lot of players. So I highly advise you to do that. You can join mine, you can join WizTubers or whatever. Just find a guild and make yourself a valuable player, because it's gonna be very, very hard to find a guild and stay in that guild now. Yeah, it's gonna be iffy, and yeah, it's just oof. It's an iffy update, but that is what I have to say about raids and guilds. Currently, there's no guild update as to opposed to like increased guild count. It's still just 50 accounts, so yeah. Oh well, maybe for the fall we can get increased guild numbers. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Going on from here, now we have to talk about the gender and name change, which is, this one's iffy. This one, I love it, and I'm sure a big majority of players are going to love this, because we've been asking for this for practically a decade, like 10 years, right? Just for a simple gender and name change. And we finally have it, but there are some certain obstacles in the way, and there are these certain hoops and loops, and usually when it comes to updates with KI in this game, you always have to take these updates with a grain of salt. Be like, there's always a catch, there's always a catch, like, it's too good to be true. And For this, it is a little bit too good to be true because this is level gated. So you have to be a level 50 in order to do this. Not only that, but you have to have also 100 crowns, which it's not too bad of a price. You can do 10 trivias on their website, and you can easily get 100 crowns that way. You get 10 crowns each for completing a trivia. So if you do 10 of those, you'll get 100 crowns. It's just that the trivias can get a little bit lackluster and monotonous doing it over and over again. But yeah, I think the price is fine, but I'm not sure how I feel about it only being for level 50. And I was talking to Link, and Link wanted to do this, but it's like it's level gated. If you're a level 49 and below, you can't use this feature at all. You have to be a level 50. I don't understand what this is supposed to do in terms of like the game development. Maybe they just thought that, if you're like a level like 50 and below and you wanted to change your name, you're probably better off, I guess, like making a different wizard and gender wizard and stuff like that, I guess. And it's just very bizarre. The one thing I do like about this update is that they added a bunch of names. There's a lot of new names that are available to see. Like my name that I did is Pandora Fable Blossom. I think Pandora is one of the new names, and it's such a beautiful name, but I'm not vibing with the whole level 50 or level gated thing. I'm just not vibing with that. I don't really care too much about the 100 crowns aspect of it, but I don't know, something about me, I don't know, I just don't vibe with the whole level lock. I feel like this should be available for every single person. And I see a bunch of people come back to this game back and forth and back and forth, and there's people that have various levels all over the place. So honestly, I think this should just be for everybody instead of just being level gated. I really don't understand why, but it's their game. It's whatever. And another thing is, you can only change your name only, or you can change your gender and name. Right? It's a little weird and confusing, but once it comes onto the live servers, it will be a lot easier once you see it in person. Right? But from there on out, it's a good update. But not sure how I feel about that. Now we gotta talk about challenge mode, which I'm just gonna skim through challenge mode. I think just similar to Spellments, I think I've just kind of given up with challenge mode. So this is basically what they've done. They've added more cheats. They've added an advanced rule set. So basically, you get no enchants, no standard mode spells. You have to use these advanced combat spells, and no AoEs. So, and you also get increased drop rates from the boss's loot. So it's a cool concept. I understand the concept of it. I get it. They want you to experience a challenge. It's just, I don't know if it's really worth the time, you know? And the thing is, it's not even challenging anymore. It's just monotonous. It's just annoying, It's just like a drag. I don't know if no AoE is really hard. It's a spell you get in your deck, and the fact that you can't use it, it's like, well, okay. Now some of the bosses you don't really need an AoE, like headquarters and the Storm Titan and stuff like that, but I don't know, it's just like for increased drop rates, which we don't know the drop rates. What does increased drop rates mean? I don't know. It's just iffy to me, And I feel like not a lot of people are gonna really be willing to do that if there's all these parameters in place, I don't know. I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. I'm sure people will enjoy it, and if you do enjoy it, that's great. But it's just like, I don't know if I can vibe with that. Now, there have been several spells that have been banned from advanced combat, AoE damage, and heal spells, which we'll get into later on. Spells such as Rebirth and Stormlord have been marked as standard only. The infinite removal spells such as Enfeeble and Shatter have been marked as standard only. So you can't really use these cards in the challenge mode. So yeah, it's interesting. There's also been 4 damage AoE spells have been giving the Spellment path, which one path increases their damage while the second path changes is to a divide damage spell. So like the spells from Mirage, right, where you can divide the damage, right? So we'll check that out in the thing in a minute. But yeah, for challenge mode, I don't know. It just doesn't like resonate with me. It doesn't spark anything and be like, oh, I'm gonna go back to these bosses and struggle, you know. But if you enjoy a challenge, I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Have fun with that. I'm just not gonna waste my time with it. And talking about Beastmoon, I'm not really the biggest dude with Beastmoon, and I'll just leave that for you guys to look at. But this is the new balanced ninja pig. These are the spells. I'll let you guys do your own analysis on that. I used to play Beastmoon a lot, but I just don't play it anymore. We're also getting the Ice Cyclops. Pretty cool. I do like the ice forms. I love shield spamming, so that's pretty cool. And then this is the Storm Minotaur. There you go. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. I know Anton's gonna enjoy it. I wish I was more motivated for Beastmoon, but I just really just do not have the energy for some of these events anymore. So these are the idols, the gold idols that you're gonna get throughout the weeks or months. And then you also see the pets that it's gonna offer. So pretty cool stuff. Some pretty cool stuff. Now this one, in-person kiosk updates. I haven't tested this out yet, and there's honestly not much I can say. Basically, you can find someone in person and, hatch with them at a cheaper cost, pretty much. I mean, I don't know. It's a cool concept. It just seems very convoluted, or just, like, it seems like a lot of work for a simple fix. And the simple fix is that, the pet kiosks should have lower prices. That's it. Like, honestly, the pet kiosks used to have simple prices. Like, it was like 60K or something like that, but now it can go up all the way to like 100 grand and stuff like that. Like hatching with like an ultra pet, I don't know if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm just getting too old for this game, but that's just the simple solution, is just make the pet kiosks cheaper. You're not really gaining much from making it more expensive. But that's the only thing I gotta say about the in-person kiosk thing. It's a cool concept, and when I leave this linked in the top pinned comment, you can read the whole entire update notes for yourself. And keep in mind that this is all in test run, so we're not sure what is gonna change and stuff like that. All right, so just keep everything I say with a grain of salt. Keep everything you see here with a grain of salt, because test realm is still kind of like a work in progress type build. There is one thing that I do like, and that is the pet derby. I am super happy that they have pet derby returning. I love pet derby, and I think the last time I did pet derby with the WizTubers, there was Cheerval X, Ultimate Speedster, and it was the Frenzy Gamer. It was all 4 of us doing the pet derby before the content creator raid. It was the most fun I had in the game in like the last 10 years, and I know that says a lot because it is such an underrated type of content. So I am glad that it's going to be available for the Pet Promenade, however you pronounce it. All you spell checkers out there, I'm sorry, okay? But yeah, it should be fun. Pet Derby will be fun. It will be fun. So let's go on to PvP changes. We're just going to skim through this, but basically they're adding a level scaling thing, and a lot of people were confused about this, so we're going to read this together. So participant stats will be scaled down to that league's supported levels and spells will be level gated to fit within the rules of the said league. So this means that your prime wizard, which is like your max level wizard, can participate in some of the lower level leagues while being on fair footing with the other participants, right? And this is basically what level scaling is. So that means your gear is going to be level scaled, your spells are going to be level gated, so you can only use spells within that level, right? You can't use like a shadow magic and stuff like that, right? You can only use the certain spells that you have. So this process is ongoing, and it will continue through the test run. So that's basically what they mean with the whole like level scaling for PvP. It looks fun, and honestly, this is probably one of the few things in the update that I actually might try out. Like, I might actually do some PvP. You heard it here first. I might do some PvP. Like, this is a pretty cool change, you know? Because sometimes I don't like high level PvP. Sometimes I want to do the low level PvP, but I only have a level 160 wizard. So to have this level scaling in progress is really cool. I don't think that this is, because I'm not a PvP player. I'm not in the PvP community. But I think this will be really healthy. I think it will be a really healthy decision to do. So that's awesome. Shout out to the devs. I think that's an awesome thing. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Hopefully nothing glitches out, you know, we'll see what happens. Now this is where all the nasty stuff is, the bug fixes and the miscellaneous and miscellany. This is where we get to some of the messy stuff. I have it on my notes right here, and it's not good. I would have to say some of this stuff isn't good. Let's just talk about the not this. We already talked about all that, but spell changes. Let's talk about spell changes. So, Catch of the Day, Sacred Charge, and Burning Rampage now have spellment paths. So you can no longer acquire these spells directly from the bosses. Now, in my previous video, I said that, oh, this is a terrible change. This might actually be beneficial for a lot of you guys, right? Now, keep reading. Now, the Catch of the Day spellments can be found at Takanobu the Masterless in Mushu, and Burning Rampage and Sacred Charge spellments can be found at Lambent Fire in Avalon. So that means you don't have to do the Aphrodite key boss anymore in order to get Sacred Charge, right? I got that spell kind of early back in the day. I think I got it like my very first try, but you don't have to worry about getting the spell directly. You just have to farm enough spellments in order to craft it. So I think this is actually an easier way to obtain these spells. It might be a little bit more grindy because now that they have spellment pass, you have to get enough spellments to upgrade your spell and keep upgrading like the damage and stuff like that. But it is pretty cool. But you don't have to do Aphrodite anymore to get the spells directly. I think someone's texting me. Oh, hi! Hi, Jessica. Does she know it's me? Oh, I think she knows it's me. How do I do a wink? Can I do a wink? I was gonna do a wink. You did it! You changed your name! You got me! You got me! Good eye. You have a great eye. That's Jessica. Jessica Griffin Dreamer. Shout out to you. Now, going back to this list of interesting stuff, we talked about those spell changes and stuff like that, and this one's also interesting. You got Pigsy, Goat Monk, Queen Calypso, Hammer of Thor, and Headless Horseman now have a standard top path. So lots of spellment grinding you guys are gonna have to do. They've added a new cantrip, Horn of Plenty, which was added. It's basically just a unicorn. I can just pretty much show you here. And whatchamacallit, it's an alright cantrip. It's basically just a unicorn. Yeah, that's pretty much, it's pretty much just a unicorn. Oh, nice. I'm making one right now. Say cheese. Say cheese. But yeah, this is basically the Horn of Plenty. It's a unicorn AoE, 500 base healing, and yeah, stuff like that. So you can do that. You know, they rebalance the cantrips a little bit, and I'll have to do a little bit of a different video for that. It's interesting, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't like the energy. It's just a lot of energy consumption for it, you know? And if you don't have like good energy gear, let me get a picture. Let me get a picture. Yeah. But if you don't have good energy gear, then you're going to be sucking up a lot of energy elixirs. So you're going to have to be careful with that. Now, going on back to the list, we have something big down here, which I'm sure you guys have already heard the news. But if you didn't, here it is, that all AoEs have been marked no PvP. Now, when I mean all AoEs, I mean all of them. So this directly affects raids because raids follow PvP parameters. That means that you can't use any AoE whatsoever while you're in the raids, which from my experience, or not my experience, but at least from what I've seen through the raids, I've only seen like single mob fights. I could be wrong. Maybe there's like a minion fight. And the mob fights, which is ironic, they can use the AoE attacks, but you can't. So it's really interesting. This includes stuff like Pigsy. That is considered an AoE. You have Rebirth. That is also considered an AoE. Wings of Fate is also classified as an AoE. This also includes some treasure card, which y'all were trying to say that the Lord of the Squall was available. No, Lord of the Squall is marked no PvP. So have fun not using that in the raid, okay? Have fun not using that. Stormlord is also marked no PvP. Pretty much any AoE that you can think of is no AoE. So you can't use AoE heals in raids. It's going to make raiding a little bit more trickier. And I'm sure there will be people that make their little fun Google Docs guides and stuff like that. You gotta read a whole list of the pets you need and the gear you now need and stuff like that. I am curious though, does that mean that the Maycast Pigsy Opal doesn't work? Since it is classified as an AoE, will that actually work? Now let me see. No, it has the no PvP sign on it. So I don't think that the Maycast Pigsy would be good. I mean, it was never good either way, but not sure how I feel about that. But regardless though, I don't PvP and I hardly raid. I don't really take raiding too seriously. We're kind of like a very casual guild, so I don't really care about the meta or what pet to level up because I don't do the combat roles anymore. I just chill out on the outside and just run around and get my loot, you know. I let everybody else do all the hard work, but it is cool stuff, you know. It is interesting, and it's definitely something that a lot of people are not gonna like. A lot of people are definitely not gonna like that. So another thing, another thing, this also affects the Dragonspire raid as well. So if your guild did want to do the Dragonspire raid, remember that you can't use any AoE attacks. So yeah, it's, I don't know, man. It's rough. It's a very rough process. There's gonna be a lot of re-strategizing, and I'm sure everybody will find a way. But yeah, it's just a little rough. It's just a little rough, and that pretty much explains the entire update. There's also some other little small things in the crown shop. You know, we love the crown shop. They actually have world elixirs. The only one I've seen that so far is the world celestia elixir. This is worth 15,000 crowns, so a lot of crowns, and it will show you the quest that you need in order to like basically complete Celestia. Right now, obviously this is test realm, so take everything with a grain of salt. They might change the price, or they might change how many elixirs they put in here, right? You know, this is still a work in progress. So everything that I have said, let me swap the screens real quick, but everything I have said so far, just take with a grain of salt, because Test Realm is still a work in progress. They also have a group energy elixir, which is pretty interesting. You have to be in a group apparently, and you also have to be in like an adventure party or something like that. So yeah, this might be good for raids. However, I really don't like how they're starting to put like a price tag on raids. You know, we talked about that earlier about the whole like energy consumption thing. I'm just not the biggest fan of, you know, everything consisting of energy. I really do wish that cantrips costed mana, but I understand that they do need to make a quick buck here and there, so it is gonna be a little pricey. I'm not sure if I'll even be rating that much because I'm trying to save my money, you know, like I'm trying to save my money, but all in all, some of this stuff is pretty cool, and like I said, it is test realm, so take it with a grain of salt. I also want to do this last little bit because I don't know what happened. There was this, I don't know like who linked to this apparently, but supposedly they've had this test realm server in Discord, right? And supposedly they linked to that publicly on like I think I don't know. Like I don't know where they publicly linked it to, right? And it basically led to anybody that saw that to enter the test realm server, which was I personally thought was going to be a private type of test realm server to keep all the, you know, content creators notified, you know, all the extra credit people notified and stuff like that. And apparently they just released the floodgates. They said get in here, and yeah, I saw my phone to like 39 plus notifications. I'm like, what is going on, you know? So I just left the test realm server because, quite frankly, that was ridiculous. And it felt a little slightly unprofessional. Just a slight unprofessionalism. Just a slight, you know. I honestly don't even need to join a test realm server because we already know typically when test realm happens and when we typically get the updates. I honestly don't need to be notified on when test realm happens, and you know, since that server is I guess it's ironic because it is a test realm server. Get it? It's a test realm, but I probably just don't need to be in that server, honestly. You know, and you know, when it comes to Wizard101 servers, I typically just mute everything. I just don't need to see or, you know, message anyone. You know, I like to just keep to myself as much as I can. But yeah, seeing 39 notifications, I was like, what is happening, you know? But that pretty much wraps it up for the entire update. And I still gotta try the raid out and stuff like that. But so far, if I had to rank this update at like 10 stars, I'd have to give it like maybe a 7 out of 10. I feel like a 7 out of 10 is just a little bit too much, but I feel like it doesn't deserve its super low rating. Yeah, the gender and name change is level locked to level 50, and yeah, the new raid is gonna be a little iffy. You know, it might be very iffy, and I don't know about the whole meet a person for hatching thing. That might be a little creepy, having somebody teleport to you and stuff like that. You know, I don't know. The no AoE and PvP thing, that's definitely gonna be something that a lot of people are not gonna like. And then also that they patched the whole guild hopping thing, so joining guilds is gonna be a lot harder now. You know, it's just it's a lot to take in. And then also the fact how you're gonna need more spell mints in order to change some of your spells and how they act, because remember they said that, oh, you know, you gotta get these spells in order to change the top path to like a divided spell or whatever that is. I don't even think I have any of the spell mints. I don't think I bought any, but it is gonna be a grind. It's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be obnoxious. Quite frankly, I'm probably not even gonna grind that much. I'm probably gonna take a hiatus to soon. I've been playing way too much Wiz for a very long time. But let me know what you guys think about this update. I know it's a super long video. Trust me, this will be like the last super long video. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. I think it's a great update. There's a lot of things that I don't think need to happen, but overall, it's a nice update. What can you say? You know, you either want to play the game or you don't. You either want to raid or you don't want to raid. You either want to grind or you don't want to grind. You know, but overall, it's a pretty decent update, right? My name is Richard. Well, not right now. My name is Pandora Fable Blossom. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful night. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Peace out.